Remember when Lee Trevino asked Jack Nicklaus, "Why can't you hit a wedge?" Jack looked at him and said, "I never use it." Now, I've noticed in my time playing this game that one thing is almost certainly true. Not so much with the pros, but with the amateurs, and that is, why does an amateur that can really hit his driver well struggle with the wedge or short irons? And vice versa, why does a guy who hits his irons very well struggle with his driver and fairway woods? So that's what we are going to tackle today. So come right back and we'll get to it. So as far as I'm concerned, when you've got a wedge or you got a 9-iron or an 8-iron, I mean, they should be like a piece that's connected to your arm. They should feel so easy to hit. And I think where people get into trouble with their short irons is they just hit a great drive and they got a short iron and they try to attack the swing the same way because they just crunched a driver and they said, well, if that worked for the driver, it's going to work for this. No. And not is it that it's a different swing. It isn't a different swing. It's the same swing. It's just how you obviously address the ball that changes things. These are shorter clubs. And you want to come down and compress this guy. You're not trying to compress your wood. You're trying to sweep the wood off the tee. Big difference. So when you have an iron in your hand, especially a short iron or a wedge, you're standing much closer to the ball. The arms are in tight. Elbows are just about hitting your sides. You don't want to reach out with a wedge or a short iron because then you'll change the plane. You'll come in too flat and the degree of difficulty goes way up when you come in really flat with a short iron. Plus you can hit the magic shank shot that way. So just stand closer. And you don't have to take a big swing. Just make sure your shoulder turn is complete. You don't have to make a big swing with it. It's just a short iron. But you do have to get your weight back in the right position because you still got to push off and hit it with power. So just get up there, elbows right to the sides. Maybe open your stance slightly with a shorter iron. It's up to you. And just hit a rhythm shot with your weight going back and coming through. Right. Just like that. And that's all there is to it. The same swing as your driver. You're just standing closer and perhaps a little more upright. And you're coming down and you're compressing that thing. Right now, if you're not compressing it, look at your ball position. Don't put it far back just because it's a short iron. Keep it not exact, but close to where you play your driver. I mean, not off the toe, obviously, but inside the left foot. Hogan said it's the same stance. This is the foot you're moving, not your front foot. So the ball in relation to the front foot should be basically the same. What compresses the ball is you get out in front of it and you come down and you compress it versus trying to stay back and trying to hit it high and scooping it. No, you got to hit it low. You got to almost hit it. You got to get your head right over the ball because your head is going to dictate where your low point of your swing is. That's what the head does because it's your spine. your head and your spine are connected. So you put your head right over the ball, you're standing closer, and you're compressing it, just like that. These should be easy to hit. These aren't muscle clubs. These are money clubs. So that's why I think people have a tough time hitting these guys. You know, when they're a great driver of the ball or a great fairway wood hitter of the ball, because they're doing something completely different in their address position, right? Now let's get on to the driver and why if you hit your irons great, you're not hitting your driver so good. Okay, so you're hitting your irons great, got a nice swing going with them, nice rhythm, and you get up here with your driver, you can't hit it. What's that about? Well, unlike the short irons or the irons, you're going to sweep this club off the tee. So you don't stand so close to it to choke your arms off because you want to reach. You want to reach, come in a little tiny bit flatter. Although, here's the rule for this way to play. The butt end of the club should still be pointing at the ball. But you can reach forward a little bit, get your weight back, and you hit it. You put it up a little forward with your front foot. Your head does not go at the ball. The head is actually a foot, or your eyesight, or your nose, however you want to think about it, is like a foot behind the ball. And you cream it with a little draw. I didn't swing different with my irons. I just addressed the ball differently. I think the head position is big. Because what we don't want to do with our driver is have our head right on the ball. We want to put it back there a little bit. Now, the neck is there. The neck's not back. It's just the head. So the neck starts at the ball, but the head's in the back. So when you come down, you're going to sweep it more. You're not trying to compress it. You're trying to sweep it. And you're putting your head further back, or twisting eyes further back, actually. It's more of an eye thing than a head thing. So I think those are the traps you get into when you're a good iron player. You're trying to stand too close to this ball. You don't have to reach too much for it because you don't want a big space on your armpits, but you don't want to have it like in here either. No. And also, your irons, chances are when you're hitting a good iron, you got a nice stopping point because you're just trying to smooth the iron to the hole. Whereas with your driver, you think, oh boy, this is nitroglycerin in my hand and I got to bomb one. So you're kind of getting up here and giving it too much at the top. A good drill to try is to get your driver on the range, and I've mentioned this before. I think of your driver like it's a wedge, but you address it like a driver, but you just take it back here and smooth it out, just like you would a wedge, and see what happens. See how you hit that thing. Tee it up, put your head back, get your weight back, and move weight through. But tee it up like a normal shot, but hit it like a wedge. See? Just hit it like a wedge. That was easy, and I crushed it. So if you're having trouble with your woods, your fairway woods, or your driver, it's probably you're overswinging a bit, or you're standing too close to the ball, or you're addressing it poorly with your head and body. So I hope that helps. We're getting ready to get some serious snow here, but I'll be back just as soon as I can with more helping advice. Take care.